Good morning, class. So today we'll start with domain and range of trigonometric functions. Clear? We will start with domain and range of trigonometric functions. For that, you should first of all know the graph of trigonometric functions. So for the graph of trigonometric functions, come to this. If we have to draw the graph of any function, suppose this is y is equal to sine x. What we need, I told you we need a table. Clear? Of values of x and y. Clear? So what we will do, we'll draw the table of x and y. Clear? This will be your values of x. This will give you the values of y. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to sine x. Sine 0 will be 0. When x is equal to pi by 2, when x is equal to pi by 2, sine pi by 2 is 1. When x is equal to pi, sine pi is 0. When x is equal to 3 pi by 3 pi by 2, your sine of by sine 3 pi by 2 is what? Minus 1. If you don't remember, see your last class. Yeah. When x is equal to 2 pi, again your value is what? 0. Now see the graph. See the graph of sine x. At 0, we are having 0. Note down this table at any place if you want. I'm giving you a minute's time to note it down. Now just see. Now just see, I'm removing this table. Just see, at 0 we are getting 0. At pi by 2 we are getting the value 1. At pi we are getting, at this pi we are getting the value 0. At 3 pi by 2 we are getting the value minus 1. This is minus 1. At 2 pi again value is 0. So what we can see from the graph, the value of this function is repeating after 2 pi. Now just see, again the value will repeat. You can see this from here to here. Again it will repeat, then again repeat. Same way it will repeat from here to here. Yeah. So this way the values will repeat again and again, again and again, again and again. So now from here, what you know about domain and ranges, just see what you know about domain and ranges. Domain are the values of x and range is what? The values of y. This is what? Values of x are the domain, values of y are the range. Now you can see from the graph itself, x is on the number line. This x values are on the number line. So on the number line, we can take any value. This graph will go indefinitely. So x belongs to what? X belongs to our real numbers. But when we are talking about y, what we can say? The value, maximum value is 1. Here also 1, 1, 1, everywhere 1, and the minimum value is what? Minus 1. So the values are ranging from minus 1 to 1. Minus 1 is also a value. Just see, 1 is also a value, minus 1 is also a value. So what we can say is that in this graph, we can say that the domain ranges from any real, domain can be any real value, and the range will be from minus 1 to 1. Is that clear? Your range, this range is what? Minus. Don't think this is range. Please, x belongs to r. This is real numbers. X belongs to r, that is real number. Y belongs to minus 1 to 1. Same way for the graph of cos x, 10x, you can draw by yourself. Only the thing is, you have to just plot the table. Draw the table. First of all, you know the values, draw the table and then plot the graph. When you will plot the graph, you will know the domain and range. This way we can calculate. This domain and range part we have done in the last chapter. So we'll not move further for it. Clear? Now just see, if you want you can revise, if you can learn them also, or by yourself you can make it out also. Just now I told you the graph of sin x. From there we have calculated domain is r and the range is minus 1 to 1. Same way in cos also, cos function also, domain will be, if we are drawing the graph of cos function, cos 0 is what? Cos 0 is 1. We will have the point here. Cos 0 will be, suppose this is 1, this is minus 1. So cos 0, at 0 we are having, when x is equal to, just see, when x is equal to what? X, y. When x is equal to 0, we will have y is equal to 1. In this function, cos x, cos 0 is 1. Then cos pi by 2 is what? 0. If we have 0 here, we have pi by 2 here. So what function we will get this way? Clear? Pi by 2, 1. Then after that pi, at cos pi, what we will have the value? At cos pi, we will have cos of pi is what? Pi means what? Cos pi means, yes, anyone. Cos pi means it will be minus 1. Clear? It will be minus. So this way the graph will be. Clear? Here from 1 till here. Clear? So cos pi by 2 is this. Then at pi by 2 it will be what? 0. and then the here 3 pi by 2 again it will be 0, pi by 2 again it will be 0, and at pi, this pi, it will be clear, at pi it will be minus 1. Clear? Is that clear? So this way the graph of cos also, and if you know the graph of sine and cos, you can get the values of what, 10 also, you can get the values of 10. 10 will be what, this 10 is what, just see, 10 theta is what, 10 theta is, wait a minute, your 10 theta is what, 10 theta is equal to sine theta upon cos theta. Now when the value of x will not be, theta will not be valid, theta here instead of x we have taken theta, so when the value of theta will not be valid, when cos theta will be 0, when denominator is 0, this will become not defined. When cos theta will be 0, it will become what, not defined. Here, not defined. So when cos theta, in the last class I told you, when cos theta is equal to 0, this implies theta belongs to what, 2n plus 1, pi by 2, odd multiples of pi by 2. Clear? Now n belongs to what, integers. So we can say that here the value of theta cannot be this, value of theta cannot be this, because if value of theta will be 2n plus 1 pi by 2, then this denominator will be, 0. So we will have real numbers minus this, and range. Why range is real numbers? Just see, you put any value, sines, sine, we can take sine of 0.0001, and here also we can take cos of 0.0001. We can take this value, can we? It is not 0, it is tending to 0, but it is not tending to 0, it is not 0. So when value of cos is tending to 0, it is not 0, and so sorry, when the value of x is tending to 0, so the value of cos x will be tending to what, infinity, tending to infinity, but it will not be infinity. So any value it can take. So 10 theta will have any real number. So range is what? Any real number, and domain is what? R minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Same way for cot theta. In cot theta, what we are having? We are having in the denominator sine theta. And sine theta cannot be 0. Denominator cannot be 0. And yesterday I told you sine theta is equal to 0 implies what? Theta belongs to n pi. So we will say that theta cannot be n pi, because as soon as theta, sine theta will be 0, this cot theta will not be defined. So what we can say, theta will not be n pi. So theta can be any real number except n pi. Clear? Clear? Same way for others also. Others, what are the other function? Cosec x and sec x. Just see, sec x, again sec x is what, 1 upon cos x. Sec x is what, 1 upon, sec x is 1 upon cos x. Now cos x cannot be 0. When cos x cannot be 0, real number minus this. Clear? And then range will be r minus 1, 1. Now this is open interval, keep this thing in mind. Same way for cosec x also, you can do it by yourself. Clear? Now your homework is what, you draw the graph of each and every function. We have done for sine, and a roughly graph I have give you for cos also. Now try to do it for 10, cot, sec, cosec, everything. Clear? Then comes the next question, next part is how you can find the values of, how you can find the values of different trigonometric ratios at in different quadrants. So for that you should know 2-3 things. Clear? You should know 2-3 things. Wait a minute. We are having here, yes, suppose we are having this quadrant system. Clear? We have first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant. This you must have learned in class 9, 10. This is your fourth. This is your Cartesian plane. In Cartesian plane, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, this is y dash, and this is x dash. Clear? In this quadrant, in this Cartesian plane, you are having 4 quadrants: first, second, third, and fourth. Till first quadrant, you are having till 90 degree, or you can say pi by 2, and then till here you are having 180 degree, or you are having 180 degree, or you are having pi, and then till here you are having 270 degree, or you can say 3 pi by 2, or here you are having 360 degree, or you are having 2 pi. Here this angle will be 2 by 360. Now how we are talking about the sign of different trigonometric ratios in different quadrants. So here we can say all the trigonometric ratios are positive in the first quadrant. In the second quadrant, only sine, and obviously sine is positive, then cosec will be positive. Then in the third quadrant, we will have what? 10 positive. If 10 is positive, obviously cot will be positive. Then in the fourth quadrant, we will have cos. Cos is positive, then sec will be positive. So all sine 10 cos. This way you can remember all sine 10 cos, or you have one more thing, like you can say all students of 10th class. All students, S for students, 10th, T for 10th, and class. This way also you can remember that all trigonometric ratios are positive here. Here only sine. We will not say cosec because sine is positive. Then obviously automatically cosec will be positive. Then 10 and then cos. So all sine 10 cos. This is just for your remembrance. This is one thing. You have to keep in mind two things, not only one thing. This thing you should keep in mind. Then second thing is what? If we are talking about angle sine 90 minus theta sine, this will be valid for all trigonometric ratios. Okay, I will take only sine because we cannot write each and every one. Sine 90 minus theta, sine 90 plus theta, then sine 180 minus theta, sine 180 plus theta, then same way sine 270 minus theta, and then sine of 270 plus theta, same way sine of 360 minus theta, and sine of 360 plus theta. Now, where they will lie? First thing is, whenever you are having sine of 90 minus theta, sine of 90 plus theta, it will change. Change means what? Sine will change to cos. Sine will change to cos. It will also equal to cos theta, but the sine, it is not completely equal to, we'll talk about it. Then when we are talking about 180 minus or 180 plus, it is equal to sine only. Means no change. Yeah, no change. Then again, sine of 270 minus theta, change, again change, and then 360 minus theta, no change. Now what does it mean, change, no change, no change, no change? This is just for your knowledge. This is just for your knowledge or your remembrance. We are telling you that suppose when we are talking about 90 minus or 90 plus theta, if you have to calculate the value of sine 90 plus or 90 minus theta, it will change to cos. When it is, we are talking about 180 minus or 180 plus, it will not change. Means sine will change to cos, cos will, in 90 minus 90 plus, sine will change to cos, cos will change to sine, and 10 will change to cot, cot will change to 10, sec will change to cosec, cosec will change to sec. This way changes will be there. But in 180 minus theta, no change. No change means sine will remain sine only, 10 will remain 10 only, cot will remain cot only, cos will remain cos only, but the sign will change. This will, sign will remain, the sine theta means sine theta will remain sine theta, but the sign, the positive or the negative sign will may change according to the quadrant in which it will lie. So two things you have to keep in mind. Just see the quadrant now. This is your first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and then this is your fourth quadrant. Now just see 90 minus theta, where it lies. Sine 90 minus theta will lie in the first quadrant. It will lie in the first quadrant. So in the first quadrant, we know that all are positive. Here it will be useful. All are positive means it will be plus cos theta. Yeah. Then come to 90 plus theta. 90 plus theta will lie in the second quadrant. 90 plus theta will lie where? In the second quadrant. So in the second quadrant, what we have? Cos theta. Now just see sine 90 plus theta, all sine. Here we were having sine positive. So obviously again cos theta, it will be 90 minus theta will be cos theta. Sine 90 plus theta will also be cos theta. Then come to the third one, sine 180 minus theta. Now what we can say about sine 180 minus theta? 180 minus theta, again it will lie where? In the second quadrant. Second quadrant, no change. It will be sine theta, but it will be what? Positive, because in second quadrant sine is positive. Then come to 180 plus theta, it will lie where? In the third quadrant. Now in the third quadrant, what is positive? Only 10 is positive. 10 or cot will be positive. So again sine will be negative. So here we will have minus sine theta. Clear? Then come to 270 minus theta. 270 minus theta again will lie in the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, 10 is positive, cot is positive, cos will, the sign will be negative, so we'll have minus cos theta. 270 plus theta, fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, we are having cos of 10 positive, so again minus cos theta. Clear? So this way, and same way in 360 minus theta, 360 minus theta, fourth quadrant. 360 minus theta, fourth quadrant, sine is what? Negative, minus sine theta. 360 plus theta, first quadrant again, so it will be positive sine theta. Clear? So this must be clear to you all. This is an important thing which you should note it down. If you can see your NCRT book, they have given the signs of trigonometric ratios, but it will be very difficult for you to remember each and every sign. It will be very difficult for you to remember each and every sign. You can see page number on page number this 58, it is given the sign of all the trigonometric ratios, positive or negative. Either you remember these all, it's your wish, or you take this as two things you can remember. Clear? In the first quadrant, all just see all are positive. You can see your book also, page 58. In the second quadrant, what are positive? Sine and cosec are positive. In third quadrant, you can see tan and cot are positive. In the fourth quadrant, what you can see? Cos and sec are positive. Yeah, this much you have done. But the most important thing is what? The values. Values means 90 minus theta, 90 plus theta. Values will change. Same way for 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta. I have given you a brief description of it. I think so it must be clear to you all. Now, moving on to the next thing, which is your exercise, I think so. Clear? So graph you, try to do it by yourself. Clear? If you won't be able to, then I will explain it. We have done sine and cos. Rest you can do. Now next is your this part. Question number 1 of the exercise. Now here what we have to do, if we know cos x is equal to minus 2 by 3, we know one trigonometric ratio, we can find each and every, all the 5 trigonometric ratios we can find. But here we are being asked only for sin x. Now again, one more thing, what they want in the third quadrant, they are talking about in the third quadrant, the value in the third quadrant. Clear? So if we know cos x is minus 2 by 3, we know this relation sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. We put the value here, we can get sin square x is equal to 1 minus cos square x. So it will be 1 minus cos x is minus 2 by 3. So cos square x will be 4 by 9. Now calculate sin square x will be 5 by 9. So sin x will be root over of 5 by 3, and plus minus sign will come because 9 root over of 9 is what? 3 only. Yeah. So what we are having sin x is equal to this plus minus root 5 by 3. Sin x is equal to plus minus root 5 by 3. Now the important thing is what? Where it lies. This sin x lies in the third quadrant. Now you have to see this. It is lying in the third quadrant. You can see that all sine, tan, cos. So just see in the third, first, second, third. This is your third quadrant. In the third quadrant, sine is positive or negative. In this third quadrant, sine is what? Negative. So we'll take the negative value, not the positive value. So the answer will be sine x is equal to minus root 5 by 3 instead of plus root 5 by 3. Is that clear? Then come to the next question. Question number 2. When x is equal to 3 by 5, when x is equal to 3 by 5, x lies in the second quadrant. Find all other 5 trigonometric ratios. All other 5 trigonometric ratios we have to find. Clear? I think so it's time. So we can continue. Yeah, maybe you will miss your class. It's time. So we'll do next day this question. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me see. Okay. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Thank you, class.